Hi, math friends. We're going to check out long division again, but this time with decimals. So when we see these, 4 divided by 5, 3 divided by 8, we learned how to do these with a remainder or even as a fraction. But now we want to go into, well, how can we do this without that fraction and as a decimal instead? Remember, my dividend goes in the house, divisor on the outside. Now I need to do 5 into 4. 5 doesn't go into 4, so I'm going to use a 0. Now, I can't go any further right here typically, but with my skill here, I can do 4.0. So remember that 4.0 or 4 and 0 tenths is the same as 4. So that's why this makes sense. My decimal needs to go straight up. Now I can divide 5 into 40 is how I think about this number. 5 goes into 40 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. So I use my same method for long division. I subtract, and I get 0. So no remainder, nothing left over. My final answer is 0 and 8 tenths. And another thing that we're going to look at here is, does that decimal end, or does it repeat? Or does it keep going? So 0.8 or 0 and 8 tenths, it's done. So we're going to call this a terminating decimal. Let's check out our next one, 3 divided by 8. So my dividend goes in the house, divisor outside. Now I'm going to go 8 into 3. 8 does not go into 3 because 8 is greater. So I'm going to make my decimal again. Now I go 8 into 30. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. So 4 would be too much. So I'm going to go 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. I'm going to subtract and get 6. Now, since I didn't end with a 0, I'm going to add another 0 here. Okay? Remember, the reason I can do that is because 3.0 is the same as 3.00. Think about money. $3 is the same as $3 and no cents. Okay? 8 into 60, so 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. And 8 times 8 is 64, so it's got to be 7. So I get 56, and then I'll subtract. I get 4 is my difference. Again, got to keep going so I can extend the vinculum there. Go straight down. 8 goes into 45 times. So I subtract the 40, and then I get nothing left. 0.375 or 375 thousandths is my final answer. And this decimal, we did keep going a little bit, but eventually it stopped. So this is another terminating decimal. Oops, went off the screen a little bit. All right. Let's check out 2 more examples. Things that we got to know. So I've got dividend in the house again. 14 is the dividend this time. 9 is the divisor. 9 goes into 1, it does not. 9 does go into 14 one time. Subtract. I get 5. Sometimes I would stop here and do remainder 5, but we can add a decimal now. Decimal 0, decimal goes straight up. Remember, keep your place value in order here. That is super important so that we do this properly. And move my 0 down. 9 goes into 50 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. So I subtract, and I get 5. Since I didn't get a 0, I'm going to add another 0 here. 9 goes into 50 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. Now, if you're thinking we just did that, you are correct. I get 5 again. All right, so I'm going to add a 0 again. Drop that down. 9 goes into 50 5 times. And now I'm noticing, wait a minute, I have a pattern. This just keeps happening over and over. So once I notice this pattern, I'm going to circle these on the screen here. I noticed that I got 50 minus 45. I got 50 minus 45. I got 50 minus 45. This kept happening. Also here, I only have zeros that are going to end up being created here. and these 5s keep repeating. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 forever. So this is where I'm going to notice my pattern, and this is actually a repeating decimal. The way that I'm going to write this as my final answer is 1 and 5/10, or 1.5, and I make a vinculum, or a horizontal bar, over the 5. Only the 5 repeats, not the 1. So this is my final answer, and I could say for this that it is a repeating decimal. Okay, I'm going to move that to the bottom so we have room for this other example. All right, let's check out 11 divided by 3. Dividend in the house. 11. Here's 3. 3 goes into 1. It doesn't. 3 goes into 11, though, 3 times without going over, right? 4 times 3 would be 12, so that's too much. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract and get 2. Now I have a remainder, so I'm going to use my decimal. If I drop down that 0, 3 goes into 26 times without going over, right? Because 7 times would be 21. That's close, but it's over. So I got to use 6 instead of 7. Subtract, I get 2. Put another 0 because I didn't get I still have a remainder there. 3 goes into 26 times. It's 18. I get a 2. Get another 0. Drop it down. And again, we're noticing the same pattern that we just noticed with the other one, right? I keep having 20 minus 18. It's going to keep going forever if I don't stop. So my answer here, 3 decimal, 6 repeating. And remember, we draw that line over the 6 only. Okay, so I'm going to write repeating because that is a repeating decimal. All right, so I hope this helps with the work that we're doing. Get good practice, and remember, with practice, you got this.